Hey there. Some people train their dogs to fetch a ball. What is fetching a ball? Picture you with a dog and you're outside and you throw a ball and your dog runs after the ball, picks it up in his mouth and brings it back to you. That's called fetching a ball. Some people train their dogs to fetch a ball. Others train their dogs to walk sedately next to them without pulling on the leash, walk calmly next to them. But there is a couple, a husband and wife in England, with a dog named Scruff, and they have trained their dog to fetch plastic bottles. Yes.
English without fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories.
David and his wife Yvonne have a 13-year-old dog named Scruff. Scruff likes to go for long walks, and so do David and Yvonne. Scruff used to pick up sticks, and they used to throw sticks to him. But the vet said the sticks were not good for his mouth, that they could scratch his mouth, and they needed to stop throwing sticks for Scruff to fetch. So for a while, Scruff didn't fetch anything. But one day, he found a plastic bottle along the path. This was one of those bottles that, you know how people litter. They throw trash outside. That's called littering, when you don't put trash in a waste can or trash can and you throw it on the ground. One day, Scruff found a plastic bottle and he brought it back to them. So David and Yvonne took the bottle home. Then they noticed that Scruff seemed to have an eye. He seemed to look for plastic bottles, and he started bringing more back to them. Soon, they taught him to just wait by the plastic bottle until they got there, and then they would pick it up and put it in a black plastic bag to take home. What are they doing with all these bottles? They have decided to recycle the bottles. What that means is they take all the bottles that Scruff has collected and they take them to a recycling plant so that, one, they're not lying around hurting the ground. They're not hurting the ecosystem. Have you heard about ecosystems? An ecosystem is the whole system of living things. For example, the animals, the insects, the fish, the birds that live in a certain area, and it contains the water they use, the trees, the rocks, the dirt. All that is called an ecosystem. And you've heard of ecology, the study of the ecosystem. It's about the environment. So collecting all these bottles and taking them to the recycle plant is helping the ecosystem. It's helping our environment. Collecting bottles is something that Scruff has been doing since the end of 2021. His owners now have more than 1,000 bottles. And here's a picture of them with some bottles in the backyard. Scruff now has his own Facebook page. Yes, he's called the Eco Dog. So not only has this practice been beneficial for the environment, And maybe the publicity has helped people become aware of, I should not throw trash on the ground outside. But it's had some positive effects on Scruff. Number one, his mouth is healthier. And two, he has learned to stop and not cross a street. So that's a safety measure that has benefited Scruff. But more than that, what affects him personally, I hope that many people will learn from Scruff, the eco dog, to take better care of where they live, of their environment, of their ecosystem. Well, that's it for this story, this episode of English Without Fear. I love animal stories. How about you?
Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here is my email